was only 7 years old, but her smile could light up the whole village. Every morning, when birds sang outside the windows, Mama Zuri would enter the kitchen, and little Amina would run behind her. "Mom, can I help today?" she asked every single day. Mama Zuri laughed softly and tied a small apron around her waist. "Cooking is not just food, my child," she said. "It's love." Together, they chopped vegetables, stirred soups, baked flatbreads, and slowly, the fragrance traveled through the streets. Neighbors would stop walking. Children would sniff the air. "Whose food smells like heaven?" they'd say. And the answer was always Mama Zuri and her little shadow, Amina. But one day, everything changed. One afternoon, Mama Zuri suddenly stopped stirring the pot. Her face turned pale. Her hands trembled. She held her stomach. "Amina," she whispered. Pain had started. That night, she was rushed to the small village clinic. Amina waited outside, hugging her father's legs, praying, crying, shaking, and then the doctor came out. He didn't smile. Mama Zuri never came back. The house that once smelled like spices and warmth now smelled like silence. The kitchen door stayed closed, and Amina stopped speaking. Baba Kofi tried. He really tried. But grief is heavy, especially when you are poor and alone. Amina began cooking by herself. She remembered her mother's hands, her voice, her recipes. She cooked for her father. She cleaned the house. She washed clothes. She grew up inside the kitchen, but she never complained, because when she cooked, she felt her mother near. Years passed. One day, a new woman entered the house. Her name was Mama Nala. With her came her daughter, Lina. At first, they smiled, but soon their smiles turned into orders. "Amina, where's my tea? Amina, wash my clothes. Amina, clean the floor. Amina, cook dinner again." Mama Nala turned her into a servant. And Lina, she laughed. "You smell like onions," she mocked. "You'll never be anything except a cook." But Amina didn't fight back. She didn't cry loudly. She cried quietly into her cooking. And somehow, her food became even better. Stronger flavors, deeper tastes, healing dishes. The whole village began to whisper again. "Who cooks like this? Whose hands hold magic?" One woman noticed. The neighbor. Her name was Auntie Rosa.
"It's simmering nicely now.
Beautiful, keep going."
Just a bit more spice."
One day, Auntie Rosa saw Amina cooking. She recorded her secretly, her hands dancing in the air, spices falling perfectly, food sizzling beautifully. She uploaded it online, just for fun. But overnight, thousands watched, then millions. People commented, "Who is this girl? Her food looks like art. She cooks with soul." Amina didn't even know. She was too busy washing dishes. But Auntie Rosa came running. "Amina, you're famous." Amina laughed nervously. "Me? No." But then something unbelievable happened. An international cooking competition was coming to their region in Africa. Judges from Europe, Asia, America, and one special wild card was given to a village girl named Amina. When Mama Nala heard, she laughed. A servant girl competing internationally? Impossible. Lina mocked harder. "You'll embarrass us." But Baba Kofi, for the first time in years, smiled. "You will go. he said softly. You were born in that kitchen. And Amina, she shook, she feared, she doubted. But she remembered her mother and said yes. The competition hall was huge. Bright lights, cameras, chefs in white coats, professional kitchens. Amina stood barefoot inside her hut. She wore her simple dress. Everyone stared. But when the timer started, she closed her eyes and cooked like she always had. Not for judges, not for fame, but for her mother. She cooked village stew with royal elegance. She baked bread with fire and soul. She plated like an artist. The judges tasted. One dropped his spoon. Another whispered, "This is not food. This is memory." Round after round, she survived. Semi-final, final, and then,
Amina, you are the winner. She froze. Her hands shook. Her knees fell. Tears flowed. She had won. She was crowned Master Chef of Africa. Cameras flashed, crowds clapped, and somewhere Mama Zuri's soul smiled.
Amina's life changed. She opened restaurants, she appeared on TV, she trained chefs, she traveled countries. Money came, fame came, respect came. But at home, Mama Nala changed. Her smile turned fake, her words turned sweet, but her heart turned black. She saw Amina rising and Lina falling. No proposals, no achievements, only jealousy. And one day, she planned something cruel. Before that, a man entered Amina's life. His name was Daniel. He was calm, educated, respectful. He tasted her food once and said, "I don't taste spices. I taste strength." He didn't care about fame. He didn't care about money. He cared about her story, her scars, her silence. Slowly, love bloomed. Not loudly, but deeply. And Amina, for the first time, felt safe. One night, Auntie Rosa overheard Mama Nala. She exposed everything. She told Daniel, she told Baba Kofi, she told Amina. Amina collapsed, not from pain, but relief. Daniel ran. He found her in her old kitchen, cooking, crying. He held her hands. "I trust your soul," he said. And love returned, stronger. Daniel proposed. Amina said yes. The village celebrated. Music, drums, lights, joy. But Mama Nala, she demanded, "Marry Lina instead." Daniel replied, "I choose love, not control." Mama Nala screamed. Lina cried. But the wedding happened. Simple, beautiful, pure. After marriage, Amina's life exploded upward. Luxury homes, global restaurants, awards, media, travel. But she remained simple. She cooked for orphans, she fed villages. She opened free schools. And Baba Kofi, he cried daily from pride. Mama Nala and Lina lost everything. People stopped trusting them. Their lies returned to them. They lived alone, empty, broken. And one day, Mama Nala came, begging, crying, apologizing. Amina listened and said, "I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace." One evening, Amina returned to her old kitchen. She cooked alone, closed her eyes, and whispered, "Mom, I made it." Wind moved, curtains fluttered, and in her heart, she felt she was home. After the wedding, life did not change loudly. It changed softly. No fireworks, no shouting happiness, just peace. Amina and Daniel moved into a simple house near her first restaurant. Every morning, Daniel would wake up before her, not to work, but to smell breakfast, because Amina still cooked the same way she did as a child, with love, not fame, not money, just heart. Some nights, they sat on the roof, watching stars. Daniel would say, "You know, the world knows you as MasterChef Amina, but I know you as the girl who still burns rice sometimes." Amina laughed, and in that laughter was healing. One evening, Amina felt tired. Not emotional tired, physical tired. She felt dizzy in the kitchen. Daniel rushed to her. They went to the hospital. The doctor smiled. "Congratulations, you're going to be parents." Amina froze. Her hands shook. She remembered her mother, her childhood, her loneliness. And suddenly, she cried. Not from fear, but from hope. Daniel held her. "Our child will never know hunger," he whispered. "Not food hunger, not love hunger." 9 months later, the hospital room filled with crying. Not sad crying, life crying. Amina held her baby girl. Small fingers, tiny breath, soft eyes. "What should we name her?" Daniel asked. Amina smiled softly. "Zara. It means light, because she arrived when my heart finally learned peace." Zara became the soul of the house. Her laughter filled the rooms, her footsteps ran through the halls, and every night Amina cooked while Zara sat on the counter, watching her mother's hands, just like Amina once did. History was repeating, but this time with happiness.
So peaceful
Baba
with you,
Kofi
Grandpa.
had lived a hard life. Loss, poverty, loneliness. But when Amina became successful, something changed inside him. Not pride, relief. He no longer worried about her safety, her food, her future. He moved into their guest house every morning. He sat in the garden, holding Zara, telling her stories. One day, Zara asked him, "Grandpa, why do you smile when Mommy cooks?" Baba Kofi closed his eyes and said, "Because every smell reminds me that your grandmother once lived." Zara didn't understand, but she hugged him.
True
And he
blessing for the
cried
family.
quietly.
She's so tiny. This is the best dinner.
It is, my dear.
Haha, the best! Nothing better.
Baba Kofi didn't come to dinner. Amina went to his room. He was sitting on the bed, holding an old photo. Mama Zuri, young, smiling, cooking. "Papa?" Amina asked softly. He looked at her, smiled, and said, "I think I'm finally tired." Amina's heart stopped. She held his hand. "Don't talk like that." He smiled. "No fear, just rest." That night, in his sleep, Baba Kofi left the world. No pain, no noise, just peace. The funeral was quiet, not because people didn't care, but because words felt too small. Amina stood near his grave, holding Zara, Daniel beside her. Wind moving trees, silence in hearts. She whispered, "Papa, I kept cooking, and I kept loving, and I kept living, just like you taught me." Tears came, but they didn't destroy her. Because grief, when mixed with gratitude, turns into strength. Time moved. Restaurants expanded. Books published. TV shows. Awards. But Amina still cooked at home every evening. Zara grew, from toddler to child to teenager. She learned music, dance, cooking. But Amina never forced her. She only said, "Whatever you choose, choose with love." Daniel became Zara's best friend. They walked together. They talked deeply. They laughed loudly. Amina watched them and thanked God silently because this was the life she never had, but now owned. One morning, Daniel felt tired. He ignored it. "I'm fine," he said, but Amina noticed. He stopped laughing as much. He stopped eating properly. One night, he collapsed. Hospital, machines, doctors, silence. Diagnosis, heart disease, late stage. Amina froze. "No," she whispered. "Not again. Not him. Not after everything." Daniel held her hand, smiled softly. "Hey, I married a strong woman. I'm not afraid." She cried. He wiped her tears. "I just need you to promise something." "What?" she whispered. "Don't stop cooking." She
My
laughed
chest.
through tears.
It hurts.
Stay
"I
with me.
won't."
Hold on.
Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Daniel grew weaker, but his smile stayed. One evening, they sat on the balcony, Zara inside. Daniel said, "You know, if I had one life again, I'd still choose your kitchen." Amina cried, "Don't talk like that." He smiled. "Love isn't about staying forever. It's about staying true, even when leaving." She rested her head on his chest, and for the first time, she felt fear. That night, Daniel didn't wake up. Amina woke to silence. Not peaceful silence, empty silence. She touched his hand, cold, still. Her breath stopped, her heart cracked. Doctors came, words came, but she heard nothing, only silence. Again, like childhood, like her mother, like her father. Now, her husband. She screamed, not loud, inside. The funeral passed. The house felt hollow. Rooms echoed. Zara cried herself to sleep. Amina stopped cooking. For the first time in her entire life, the kitchen lights stayed off, pots untouched, spices silent. Weeks passed. Zara stood at the kitchen door. "Mum, can you make my favorite soup?" Amina froze. Her heart broke. She realized she was not the only one grieving. Her daughter was losing her father and losing her mother too. That night, Amina entered the kitchen, hands shaking, tears falling. She chopped onions, not for soup, for survival. She cooked, slowly, silently, and something happened. She felt her mother, her father, her husband all around her, not physically, but spiritually. And she whispered, "I'm still here." Months later, Amina opened something new. Not a restaurant, not a business, a school. The Zuri Culinary Home for orphaned children, broken children, hungry children, children like she once was. She didn't teach recipes first. She taught hope. She said, food is not just taste. It's memory. It's healing. Zara helped her. They cooked together, laughed together, cried together, and healed together. Years later, Amina stood in her first village kitchen again. Old walls, cracked floor, broken window, same stove. She cooked alone, but not lonely, because her heart was full. She whispered, "Mom, I kept cooking. Papa, I kept living. Daniel, I kept loving." Wind moved the curtains, sunlight entered, and somewhere inside her soul, she felt she was home.
Mom, I kept cooking. Papa, I kept living.